Hey, it's the Ultimate Handyman. Today I want to show you how you can add an electrical outlet for your bidet toilet seat. So depending on the way your house is set up, you're going to need to tap into an existing electrical outlet. Luckily, I have an outlet on the other side of this wall, and the outlet is actually GFCI protected. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to locate the electrical panel, and we're going to turn off the bathroom circuit. So I've got my helper Blake, and he's going to remove the electrical outlet cover plate. Next, we're going to unscrew the electrical outlet and pull it out so we can expose the wires. So now I want to locate the stud next to the electrical box. So depending on which side the stud is, you might have to drill a hole through it. But luckily, I don't have a stud next to the box in the direction I'm actually running the wire. So what I like to do is take a screwdriver and stick it next to the electrical box, and you can feel if there's a stud there. Or you can get a stud finder and find it that way. So stud finder didn't go off, and now I'm going to take the stud finder on the other side and move it until I find the stud, just to make sure that there's nothing obstructing the wire getting down to the hole I'm going to cut for the new electrical box. So this is the electrical box I'm going to be using. It's just a single gang cut-in box. Basically, we're going to take the box, set it up against the wall, and we're going to mark around the box. Just going to take a level to make sure it's straight, and then I'm just going to mark it with a pencil, and then I'm going to cut it out with a jab saw, or you can use an oscillating multi-tool. Whatever you have around to cut the hole will work. So once I get the hole cut, I like to stick the electrical box in there just to make sure it fits. If it's a little bit tight, you can do a little fine-tuning, and then I'm going to pull it out so I can run my new wire. So I'm going to be matching up the wire gauge to the existing size wire. So the outlet has 14 gauge wire, and it has a 15 amp breaker. So you're going to be using 14.2 Romex. Now I'm going to be using the existing knockout hole, so I don't have to remove the electrical box, just to make it a lot easier. Instead of taking everything apart, I can just fish it down in the wall, and then I'll be reaching in from the other side and pulling it out. Now if you don't have enough space, and for some reason you can't get it to go through the other hole in the wall, you might have to remove the existing electrical box just to give you some room to get your hand in there. That way you can kind of guide the wire where you need it to go in the wall. So this is where the wire ended up when I fished it down the wall. I got really lucky, and I can actually reach it with my hand right where the opening is. Sometimes you won't be that lucky, and it might be a little bit more difficult. It all depends on how your house is laid out. So now we're going to install our electrical box. We're going to push the wire through one of the knockout holes, and we're going to push it in the wall and tighten up the 2 Phillips screws that tighten up the tabs in the back of the electrical box. So now I'm going to take a razor knife, and I'm going to cut off the outer jacket on the wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently score right in the middle of that wire all the way down. Then I could peel it back, and you got to be careful not to puncture all the way through. Just score it enough to where it'll rip, and then you can peel off all the paper. When you're done removing all the paper, you can remove the excess outer jacket on the cable. Just take your razor knife, be very careful not to cut the wires, and just cut it off. Now I'm going to strip the electrical insulation off of the end of each black and white wire. I'm taking about 1/2 inch to expose the copper so we can connect it to our new electrical outlet. So I wanted to mention, when you add a bidet to your bathroom, you need to install a GFCI protected outlet. So luckily, the outlet in my master bathroom that I'm connecting these wires to is already GFCI protected through another plug in the downstairs bathroom. So I won't be needing to add a plug with a reset switch on it. Now if you don't have a protected outlet like mine, then you're going to have to add the plug with the reset switch. So first I'm going to install the ground wire. That is going to connect to the green screw at the bottom of the outlet. You're going to want to put the wire loop so it's going in a clockwise direction. That way when you tighten up that screw, it's going to suck that wire around and make a nice tight connection. If you have it flipped the other way, it's going to want to open up that wire, and it could pop out on you. So now we're going to connect our white neutral wire to our silver lug. That is on the left side of the electrical outlet if you're facing it. And we're going to connect our hot black wire to our gold screw on the right side. Now we can push everything in. Now I'm going to take a drill with a Phillips head screwdriver and screw the outlet into place. Then I'm going to put the cover plate on to finish off this part of the installation. So if you do have to install an actual GFCI outlet with a test and reset button, make sure you put your hot wire, which is black, and your white wire, that is the neutral, into the line side of the GFCI outlet. The lugs on the side of the outlet are the same color. You've got your gold screw for your black wire and your silver screw for your white neutral wire. And the outlet actually labels it for you, so you really can't mess this up. But I do see a lot of homeowners actually wire it to the load side, which is going to make the outlet not work properly. So make sure you follow the instructions. So now I'm going to connect the wire I ran through the wall to the existing wiring. I went ahead and removed the electrical outlet because there wasn't enough space on that outlet to attach more wires. So I'm going to be using a process called pigtailing, where I'm going to take all of the neutral wires and I'm going to be adding another 8-inch piece of white neutral wire to that bundle, and I'm going to tie all of those together, and I'm going to be repeating the process for the black hot wire and the ground wire. So when everything's done, it should look just like this. We're going to stuff the wires back in the wall. We're going to tuck those wire nuts in, and the only thing that's going to be sticking out of the wall is going to be our neutral, our black, and our ground wire. So now all we got to do is bend the ends over on each of the wires, and we're going to connect it just like we connected the other electrical outlet. So I went ahead and put a GFCI protected outlet sticker on this, just so people know that this outlet is protected. So if you have any questions about this video, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I will definitely get back to you with an answer. Now the only thing left to do is to plug in the bidet and see if my electrical outlet works. And oh yeah, don't forget to turn the power back on. That really helps. Looks like the green lights are on and the bidet is turning on. So if you guys found this video helpful, can you do me a huge favor? Can you please like, share, and subscribe? And also ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on when I post my latest how-to video. And I'm going to actually put some how-to videos right here for you to check out right now.
Got it.